pages to sum this up, and I'm going fast. I told you I'm going to go fast. Here's his argument. Number one, biblical typology. And he refers to Antiochus Epiphanes. Antiochus Epiphanes is by every prophecy preacher on this platform this week will tell you that he is a type of the Antichrist. Guess what, folks? He wasn't a Jew. He was a Gentile. So biblical typology indicates that the coming man of sin must also be a Gentile. Secondly, biblical imagery. The beast arises out of the sea in Revelation 13. You know what the word sea literally means? It means the all and represents every time Gentile nations. And thirdly, Fruchtenbaum's argument is the nature of the times of the Gentiles. The Antichrist is the final ruler of the times of the Gentiles. To say that the Antichrist is to be a Jew contradicts the very nature of the times of the Gentiles. Fruchtenbaum boldly states a Jew heading up the final world throne of Gentile power is an impossible postulation. Now, where then will the man of sin originate from? The Muslim world. 1 John chapter 2. You know the verses. It speaks of the Antichrist. It says in 1 John chapter 2, I'm not going to take the time to read all these verses. You're familiar with them. Talks about the unction of the Holy One. And it says in verse 22, who is a liar, but he that denieth that Jesus is the Christ, he is Antichrist that denieth the Father and the Son. Whosoever denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father. He that acknowledgeth the Son hath the Father also. And he goes on in chapter 4. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God. Because many false prophets are gone into the world, like Muhammad. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God, and this is that spirit of Antichrist. According to these words, penned by the Apostle John, the Antichrist will, number one, deny the deity of Jesus. Number two, deny that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. And number three, deny the relationship between the Father and the Son. Do you realize the major rift between Islam and Christianity is the belief that Jesus was, Jesus is now, and Jesus will forever be the Son of the living God? The basic tenet of Islam declares that God has no Son. Islam denies the relationship of Jesus and the Father, and this is the spirit of Antichrist. I might as well quote another scholar, Dr. Van Koevering. In my book, The Church Under End Time Attack, I say this. It's not politically correct, but I'm going to speak the truth. The spirit behind radical Islam is the spirit of Antichrist. Furthermore, should a Muslim come to power in the next few months or a few years, gets the entire Muslim world united behind him, effort to combat Christianity, including concentrated effort to combat the nation of Israel, I'm here to tell you that person is the Antichrist. A very interesting man already exists within the Muslim world. This man may be new to your personal knowledge, but he's not new to the world's scene. In fact, after researching over the last 2 years for hundreds of countless hours, this one man, his ancestry, his honors, his influence, his words, his actions, and his personal life mission, I have concluded that there is no other man like this man in the world today. This man could fit the biblical pattern of the man of sin. A time will tell. And it's up to all other students of the prophetic scriptures to judge for themselves whether this man does in fact meet the biblical criteria. The man's name is His Royal Highness Crown Prince El Hassan bin Talal. Here's a picture of him. In the coming months and coming years, if I'm correct, you're going to see more of this man. One thing I want you to notice right now, if you can see a picture of him, is two distinct things, Perry. I want you to know his broad, huge forehead, and I want you to notice his unmistakably prominent, even pointed nose. It's going to become important. Let me tell you a little about this man. His Royal Highness Crown Prince El Hassan bin Talal was born in Amman, Jordan on March 20th, 1946. His Royal Highness is the younger brother of His late Majesty King Hussein. Their branch of the Hashemite family, take note of that word, is directly descended from the Prophet Muhammad in the 42nd generation. El Hassan, though a Muslim, actually graduated from Christ Church, Oxford University, with a BA in Oriental Studies. Not only that, he's the recipient of many honorary degrees, including the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Spertus Institute of Jewish Studies. In addition, he's an honorary doctorate of theology from the Faculty of Catholic Theology at Eberhard Karls University in Tübingen, Germany. Joe, are you here to tell me that there is a Muslim prince in the world who is a direct descendant of Muhammad and is honored by Christian churches, Jewish synagogues and ministries, and Catholic theology? Yep, that's what I'm telling you. On the international stage, many of Prince El Hassan's ideas and initiatives have acted as a catalyst for worldwide organizations. He addressed the 36th session of the United Nations in 1981. His Royal Highness proposed the establishment now in 1981, a new international humanitarian order. It led to him being asked by the Secretary General to found and co-chair the Independent Commission on International Humanitarian Issues, or ICIHI. And incidentally, he's back in the news in a prominent way after the tragedy in the tsunami. And he is going back to what he said in the UN and is saying much about that today, humanitarian efforts. Prince El Hassan also chairs and is member of numerous international committees and organizations. I challenge you, go to the list and read it yourself. Just a few of them that are interesting. First of all, he's a member of the National Board of the Council on Foreign Relations. Maybe you've heard of that. He's a member of UNESCO World Commission on Culture and Development. He's the president and of the board of directors for the Center for Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution. I'll have more to say about that in a moment. And here's the kicker. He is the president of the Club of Rome. Now, in the field of religion, His Royal Highness contact and meetings have evolved into a systematic interfaith dialogue, primarily consisting of 3 ongoing consultations with the Orthodox Center of Ecumenical Patriarch in Chembasy, Switzerland, a Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue at the Vatican, and the Independent Commission on Christian, Muslim, Jewish Relations through the aegis of the Deanery of Windsor. Notice Christian, Muslim, and Jewish. This man's goal in life is to fix the problems and the rift between the Jews and the Muslims and the Christians. His Royal Highness set up the Royal Institute for Interfaith Studies in 1994. In 1999, Prince El Hassan was a founding member and became vice chairman of the Foundation for Interreligious and Intercultural Research and Dialogue, located in Geneva, Switzerland. In November of 1999, at the 7th World Assembly of the World Conference on Religion and Peace, maybe you heard about it, the WCRP. That's going to come back up, by the way. It was held in Amman, that's where he lives, and Prince El Hassan accepted the position of moderator of the World Conference on Religion and Peace. El Hassan has authored numerous books, including A Study on Jerusalem, Christianity in the Arab World, and To Be a Muslim. I have them in my possession. I meant to bring them out here on the platform with me. I'm probably the only prophecy preacher in the world that not only has all 3 of these books, but has read every word of them. He is fluent, by the way, in Arabic, English, and French, has a working knowledge of German, Spanish, Turkish, and this Muslim descendant of Muhammad studied biblical Hebrew as part of his degree course. I'm telling you, folks, the man knows 7 languages. Now let's talk for a moment about the Hashemite dynasty. It's impossible to understand the fabric of the Middle East in modern history without having a working knowledge of this royal family, the Hashemites, or the Bani Hashem. They are the descendants of the Arab chieftain Quraysh, who in Muslim tradition is believed to be a descendant of Ishmael, the son of Abraham. The name Hashem originated with the great-grandfather of the Prophet Muhammad. The Hashemites are thus the direct descendants of Muhammad, this is important, through his daughter Fatima and her husband Ali bin Abi